Hi everyone, I'm Niyati Gupta and today I've come with a mathematics lecture based on class 9 ICSE. So मैं आपकी ML अग्रवाल books का एक chapter लेके आई हूँ which is simultaneous linear equations. We are going to go about it. This is the first lecture for this chapter and the further lectures will be uploaded very soon on this channel. Okay, so please stay tuned. Starting with what do we actually mean by linear equations? So हमने अभी तक दो वर्ड सुने हैं, एक है इक्वेशंस और एक है एक्सप्रेशन. इन दोनों में व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस? So expressions are normal algebraic expressions. If I write it like this, x plus y, these are three expressions. Algebraic expressions because they have variables. Now as soon as it comes to equations, one equal to sign is supposed to be there which divides it into LHS and RHS. For example, 3x plus 4 is equal to 2z. Right? तो हमारे पास एक LHS है, हमारे पास एक RHS है. It became an equation. Coming to what do we mean by linear? You must have studied a concept called degree of polynomial. Degree of polynomial means, for example, you have an expression like this, okay? You see the highest power of the variable, highest power of the variable. So you can see x is a variable and the highest power on it is 2. So degree of the polynomial here is 2. If I say 3z cube plus 4y square, we have two variables, but the highest power is 3. So this time the degree of the polynomial is 3. Linear refers to those polynomials for whom the degree is 1. Let us see this one, 3x plus 4. You have only one variable and the power of it is 1. So here the degree is 1. Similarly, if you see in the second expression, there are two variables, but the degree for both of them is 1. So again the degree is 1. And in the third one, the degree is still 1. So all these three expressions are called linear expressions. अगर ये देखें, this is an equation. Variables are x and z. The powers are 1 and 1. So the degree is 1. Hence these are linear equations. I hope this much is clear. Moving further in this chapter. Okay, so what I've written on the whiteboard right now is the general form of linear equation. This is known as the general form of linear equation. a1x plus b1y plus c1 is equal to 0. a1 is the coefficient of the variable x, b1 is the coefficient of the variable y, and c1 stands for the constant. Let us see. If we have 3x plus 4y plus 6 is equal to 0, a1 here is going to be 3 because a1 is the coefficient of x, b1 here is going to be 4 which is the coefficient of y, and c1 is going to be 6 which is the constant. This is for one equation. For the second equation, I have just changed the coefficients a2, b2 and c2. अब हमें दो ही इक्वेशंस इसलिए पढ़ाई जा रही है because in this chapter we will see if we are given two linear equations, two different linear equations, how do we solve them? How do we solve them? And solve मतलब आपको solution निकालना है. And finding a solution of two given linear equation means that you have to find out that value of x and y which will satisfy both these equations. Which means अगर आपने वो x और y की वैल्यू सेकेंड इक्वेशन में डाली और पूरा सॉल्व किया तो भी आंसर 0 आएगा, और फर्स्ट इक्वेशन में डाली पूरा सॉल्व किया वो भी 0 आएगा. Okay, so let us see how do we solve the linear equations. There are three methods of solving these linear equations. First is called the substitution method. Substitution method. Second is called the elimination method. And third is called the cross multiplication method. So there are three methods of solving these linear equations. Today's lecture is going to deal with the substitution method of solving linear equations. आज हम इस टॉपिक को डिटेल में करने वाले हैं. तो ये कैसे होता है? Let us start. I hope everyone knows the meaning of substitution. आपके स्कूल में अगर कोई टीचर नहीं आती तो क्या कहते हैं कि सब्स्टिट्यूट लगने वाला है. उसका मतलब है कि अगर वो टीचर आज वहां प्रेजेंट नहीं है, उसकी जगह आप किसी और को प्लेस कर दो. राइट? सब्स्टिट्यूशन का मतलब यही होता है, एक की जगह किसी दूसरे को प्लेस कर दिया. एंड दैट इज हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू सॉल्व दीज लीनियर इक्वेशंस टुडे. वी आर गोइंग टू सब्स्टिट्यूट some other variable for the given variable. Let us see how we'll do that. Let us say we have two linear equations. 4x minus 3y is equal to 8 and x minus 2y is equal to minus 3. Correct? पहले तो देख लेते हैं a1, b1 और c1 क्या है. For the first equation, a1 is the coefficient of x, that here is 4. b1 is the coefficient of y, that here is minus 3. Please note, जो हमारी जनरल फॉर्म थी उसमें y के साथ एक प्लस था. राइट? नाउ व्हेन y के साथ माइनस है, our b1 is the number with the negative sign. So b1 is minus 3. And one more thing, c1 in the general form was on the LHS. But if you see this equation, the c1 is on the RHS. It is on the right hand side of the equal to. पर हमें c1 का फॉर्म बताना है LHS में कैसा होगा. तो अगर मैं इस 8 को LHS में लाऊंगी, it will become a minus 8 equal to 0. So c1 here is going to be minus 8. I hope it was clear. सेकेंड के लिए भी देख लेते हैं. a2 coefficient of x is 1. If nothing is there, we know that it is 1. b2, 2 or minus 2? It is going to be a minus 2 this time. Again, c is on the RHS. अगर हम इसे LHS में लाएंगे तो ये plus 3 बन जाएगा equal to 0. So c2 is 3. Okay? ठीक है, ये तो हमने a1, b1, c1 और सारे coefficients देख लिए. Now let us see how do we solve them. We find out step 1. Find out x in terms of y. We find out x in terms of y, मतलब x की वैल्यू निकालते हैं such that answer y में है. For example, if I say x is equal to 2y plus 15, this is called x in terms of y because x की वैल्यू में y एक वेरिएबल है. ठीक है, अब I'm going to erase a few things such that it becomes a little more clear. Correct. So let us see which equation will be used to find out the value of x in terms of y. The trick here is you find out that variable whose coefficient is 1. तो हमारा यहाँ सेकेंड इक्वेशन में x है जिसका कोएफिशिएंट 1 है, तो मैं यहाँ पे x की वैल्यू निकालने वाली हूँ. We have x minus 2y from 2, x minus 2y plus 3 is equal to 0. Now let us transpose x minus 2y is equal to minus 3. 2y also transpose. So x is equal to 2y minus 3. This is our third equation. We have got the value of x as 2y minus 3. अब इस वैल्यू को हम फर्स्ट इक्वेशन में सब्स्टिट्यूट कर देंगे in place of y, in place of x. So here, in place of x, I am going to put 2y minus 3. Let us do that. 4 into 2y minus 3 minus 3y minus 8 is equal to 0. Now we have a bracket, which means we have to multiply. 8y minus 12 minus 3y minus 8 is equal to 0. We can club the constants and we can club the variables. So 8 minus 3, 5y, and minus 12 minus 8 is addition. Minus 20 is equal to 0. Take 20 on the other side. xy is equal to 20. Y is equal to 20 upon 5, which is 4. So we have got the value of y as 4. अब हमें x निकालना है. Now do not put x here or here. Put x over here. The way you found out x in terms of y, आप वहाँ पे y की वैल्यू 4 डाल दीजिए. x is equals to 2 into 4 minus 3, 8 minus 3. So x is equal to 5. So I am writing the answer over here loud and clear. X is equal to 5 and y is equal to 4, sorry, and y is equal to 4. So this is one way of solving linear equations. I hope this method was clear. We'll do one more question on the same method so that things become a little more clear this time. Okay, so our next equation is 0.2x plus 0.3y is equal to 1.3, and next is 0.4x plus 0.5y is equal to 2.3. Now this time the thing that is different is decimals. We have decimals. Now how to deal with decimals? I think you can see that after decimal, every time there is just one single digit. If I have to remove this decimal, can I multiply everything with 10? If I multiply this entire equation with 10, तो क्या होगा? 0.2x into 10 plus 0.3y into 10 plus 1.3 into 10. Correct? 0.2 into 10 is 2 and x, 0.3 into 10 is 3 and y, 1.3 into 10 is 13. We have got a new equation without any decimals. Similarly, you can do the same thing with the second equation. Multiply this entirely with 10 and you will get 4x plus 5y is equal to 23. These are your new equations. Now again we can apply the substitution method. Let us find out x in terms of y. I am going to use the third equation to do that. From 3, 2x is equal to 13 minus 3y. I took 3y on the other side. Here it was plus, on the other side it became minus. Now what to do with this 2? We need to remove it. It is in multiplication here. It will go in denominator on the other side. So 13 minus 3y upon 2. This is x in terms of y. We'll put it in the next equation. You can say put x is equal to 13 minus 3y upon 2 in 4. So our fourth equation is 4x plus 5y is equal to 23. Okay. X की जगह 13 minus 3y upon 2 plus 5y is equal to 23. Now see, this 4 is in multiplication, 2 in denominator, they cancel. Now I've got 2 into 13 minus 3y plus 5y is equal to 23. Again multiplication, 13 into 2, 26, 3 into 2, 6 plus 5y is equal to 23. 26 can go on the other side and we can club the variables here. Minus 6 plus 5y, it is subtraction with a negative sign. Negative sign because 6 is the greater number and it has the negative sign. So minus y is equal to 23 minus 26. 23 minus 26 is minus 3. Minus 5 is equal to minus 3. Minus minus cancel. Y is equal to 3. I hope you understood this much. Moving to finding out the value of x. I said that you can just put the value of y over here. So x is equal to 13 minus 3 into 3 upon 2. I am moving the calculation over here. 13 minus 3 3s are 9 upon 2. What is 13 minus 9? 4 upon 2. So x is 2. Your answer is x is equal to 2, y is equal to 3. So we did 2 questions on the substitution method. Step 1 is to find out x in terms of y, then plug in the value of x in the other equation and just solve it further. I hope this lecture helped you and the further lectures will be coming on this channel. Please stay tuned. थैंक यू।